FM Radio Baltimore.
Hey, Coach Williams, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you this morning?
Doing great. Congratulations on your 800th victory a couple of games ago.
Thank you very much.
Talk about playing against Virginia Tech. What do you see on film getting ready for that game this week?
Well, the local guys know this a lot more. I really don't focus on the other team until the day before the game.
Okay.
But by the time that we're in this part of the season where we've already played 5, 6, or 7 conference games, I have seen them twice getting ready to play North Carolina State, and I did watch the game last night because neither one of the football games were quite as interesting as a lot of people wanted them to be, and I'd rather watch basketball anyway. But Buzz's guys have the right guys shooting the ball, which I think is the most important thing on the offensive end. They guard you on the defensive end. He plays a lot of guys. He tries to keep fresh people in the game. You're not going to wear them down and be a lot more gas left in your tank in the last 5 minutes like you could possibly do some teams that don't play as many people. So I'm impressed, but I've been impressed by his clubs for the last 3 years and even before that when he was at Marquette.
I hope I could get a follow-up real quick here. Just talk about your squad. Is it your squad the same at this time last year, playing well, or is there stuff that you'd like to see it improve?
Well, we have to improve defensively. There's no question about that. Teams are shooting a better field goal percentage against us than I think they were last year. At least they're making me feel that way. I looked at it because that was last year's team, but I feel that we've got to get better defensively. We've got to keep getting better, trying to guard the ball and stop and dribble penetration, and hopefully we'll get better in every phase of the game.
Well, good luck this week.
Thank you. With the Syracuse Pulse at Stanford Highdale with Herb FM Radio Baltimore.
Hey, Coach Jim, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. You're taking on a Miami squad this week who's been up and down. What do you see getting ready for that game?
What Jim Larrañaga's teams are about. They're an excellent defensive team, very aggressive. They're athletic and long, and they can really drive the ball. And with Reed and some of their other perimeter players, a lot to handle in transition. Just a good basketball team. You know what's coming. You know they're going to be ready to play. This is going to be a heck of a challenge for our team. So I think it's easy to be up and down in this league. It's frustrating for coaches, but I think the players all have a resolve to them, and you can see it the way they respond, and I'm sure they're going to respond. So we're going to have to be ready to meet that challenge head on.
Well, how difficult is it for you guys to play down there? Because a lot of visiting teams don't do well down there in Miami. Why is it so difficult?
I think they have a lot to do with it. It's not the Miami area. We're only down there for less than 24 hours, but I think it's, I think they have a lot to do with it. They're a very good basketball team, and they play well. And you can make that statement about a lot of teams in this league. When you go into their venues, they're very, very good. And they're no different. Again, it's a well-prepared team. It's going to be both, physically and mentally prepared to play, and that's the challenge.
Well, have safe travels to Miami.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Coach Brad. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
I know you guys are having a tough go-around right now with the with that 1-point loss yesterday to Virginia Tech, and now you have a week off. What do you like to see during this whole week off? I know you're trying to find out is it the lineup, is it the players? Are your players still playing tough and in the ball game, or do you see them like escaping during the game, forget where they are?
I don't think forgetting where you are is the right word.
Right.
We can play harder. I think our focus is not where it needs to be. Some of them are not defensive-minded in nature and don't value every possession defensively as much as they value offense, and that's been a constant fight even when we were winning in the preseason. I was echoing some of those comments to our local media, that it's a little more of a struggle for me to convince these guys how hard they have to play and how well they have to play on the defensive end.
And you take on Pitt Saturday. Is it good to take?
Our next question comes from Paul Swandles.
Thanks for
With the
hanging.
Daily